welcome to another episode of Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends. Good morning, I'm your host, I'm Keith Bilous. Over there's Jimmy, producer Jimmy on the buttons, bashing them away. Today we're going to today we're going to unplug and unpack the ugly truths about your pre-workout. And spoiler alert, it's not unicorn dust. Plus, we're going to tackle screen fatigue. Hey, what your mom was saying might be right about your screens, but hey, we've got nutrients that will help you stare guilt-free. Little hint, it's part of the Jorie Janzen segment. It's about eating whole, nutritious foods, guys. Eat your carrots. Stick around because this episode's packed tighter than imagining Jon Andersen in a pair of yoga pants. Yeah, I wrote this last night when I was pretty happy. Listen, standard reminders today, guys. First, smash the like button. Hit subscribe and comment down below. And listen, don't ghost the show like the moron yesterday. If your comment makes Marty blush, well, hey, we're going to give you a celebration. And just a gentle reminder, you guys, this is an R-rated experience. As you know, Johnny and Marty and myself tend to drop some words that might offend the children in the room. So we invite the children to put the headphones on or tell the parents what's coming next. And just another reminder, you hit that snooze button. It's programmed to make you 9 minutes late. You do it twice, you're 20 minutes late. You do it all year, you're a week behind the guy who did it. So guys, get your ass up, get your accountability in check, get your right habits in check and stack them and get yourself going throughout the day. All right, listen, Jimmy, let's bring the boys and let's welcome in the crew. Let's see if Johnny's got the cigar lit up there. We got Marty, the boy wonder from Maryland, the home of the second best team in the NHL, the Washington Capitals. And of course, we got Jon Andersen joining me as well. What is going on, my two brothers from two different mothers? How are you guys today?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm awesome. Got the same mother.
Yeah.
We all got the same mother.
We all got the same mother. Oh, yeah. Boys, I'm excited to be here today. We got Nicole Bernard joining us this morning, one of the OGs on the show. She's running 4 miles every 4 hours. Why? I don't know. We're going to ask her. But she's coming up here a little bit later this morning. She's going to get her ass out of bed, boys, to join us. But, guys, I got to get something off my chest. It's kind of funny. So we were ghosted yesterday, officially ghosted. And here's how it worked. So we had a young man who decided to agree to be on the show last week, went through the whole experience and got the email, got the instructions and everything. And then yesterday showtime comes. And as we're doing our show, boys, I'm messaging Jimmy and Melissa. I'm like, hey, where's the guest? And Melissa's like, oh, I'm going to go check. So she goes and knocks on the guest's door. And the guy's like, oh, I woke up this morning and realized that I needed to be at a computer and I'm only on mobile. So then Melissa was like, were you not going to tell us? No.
Don't y'all send an email and messages and stuff?
There's 2 emails. There's 2 texts. No, the thing is, he showed up to watch the show, but he realized that he couldn't do it. So he just decided not to communicate and just leave altogether. Like not even say, hey, guys, I can't make it. Hey, guys, I'm not coming. Oh. So then Marty, what I did was I actually messaged him yesterday and questioned his character.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's awful character, you know?
Is it not?
Yeah, that's awful. No communication, no accountability. I mean,
like,
how do you even operate? I was going to say, how do you operate in your business like that?
Well, could you imagine, Marty, me booking a meeting with you and you saying, hey, Keith, I'll meet you at the gym today at 11. And then you show up there at 11, you prepare and everything. And then I just don't show up. I don't even call you. I just ghost you altogether. And you're like, what the fuck, man? You made the commitment to me.
But see, here's the problem with this whole scenario.
Yes. Oh, here's the Jon Andersen take I was waiting for, brother.
Well, I mean, it's it happens. Shit happens, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that your attention is following this thing away from your productivity.
Oh no! So it took about 90 seconds of my time yesterday just to have a laugh about it and send the guy a note, and then I was done with it, and then I was ready to tee it up with you guys here today.
Forgive me. I thought you sent a email questioning his character.
Oh, I did after the show. I sent him a text message.
What good does that do you? How does that help your future?
I'll tell you what good it does me. It just reestablishes that I'm a leader and that I put my time in and that I'm prepared for you and that
you don't listen. You don't have to tell somebody they're fucking wet when they get out of the shower. I mean, come on. You just fucking keep moving.
Oh, I love you, Anderson.
A good fucking leader demonstrates that this person doesn't deserve any more of our attention, and I'm not going to give him my attention. So everybody watching, this is how it's done.
Oh, I know, and I love that. And what I do enjoy, though, is that we have this platform that we get onto every single day that nobody else has. So I feel like, hey, I got this platform. I can call people out that are idiots. But hey, we've spent enough time talking about it. Jay, good morning. I see you in the comments this morning, brother. Good to have you on. Jay joined us a couple days ago. Hafez, I see you there in the comments as well. You're joining myself, John, and Marty here. Mornings Live with Keith and Friends. The only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of gear. Marty, how was your day yesterday, man?
Oh man, it was packed.
No, do tell.
Yeah, you've been a busy dude lately, Mark. What's changed? What's changed? Something had to have shifted. So tell us what the shift is.
Uncle Keith and Uncle Johnny want to know, Marty. We want to know.
I promise you, nothing shifted. It just
it's like our son's not coming home until late. We want to know what you've been doing.
Nah, man, I just
our son is not coming home till late. Marty, what are you doing?
Nothing. Just been putting in more hours and more time, man. That's it. Just compete with the other gyms.
Hours of what time into your business or the gym?
Both of them. You know, just been doing more of my content as far as the gym, competing with the other franchises, trying to shit on them. So I'm getting to work earlier. I'm getting home later. I've been getting a lot less sleep. Yeah, but it's paying off. So
you're triple ending the candle. You're burning the candle at the top, at the bottom, the middle,
just locked in. But
just lighting the wick everywhere you can.
Yeah, but yesterday our internet went out, so that was a fucking headache. Yeah.
Dude, well, brother, you're at that age too where you can fucking really get away with burning that candle on both sides, and it doesn't burn you down quite so much. You know, you get to a certain age. You know, it's like that's one of the things that I was thinking about in my morning meditation was I'm recognizing that I built these habits to get here, and now I'm realizing that I have to continue to tweak them to basically, because the habits, what are they for? They're to make the best version of us. Yeah. Sometimes the habits from when we're fucking 30 don't make the best version of us in our 50s.
Oh, that's interesting to hear you say that. Go ahead, Marty.
I was gonna say that's what I'm starting to realize. Like as I'm approaching 35 and 40, I'm like, I can't do this forever. So I'm just like trying to put that last push on laying the foundation for the next level of my life, next step in my life.
It's interesting how we have those observations, right? Because it relates to food too. It's like we go through a point where, okay, I guess I can't just live off Kraft dinner and fucking Fruit Loops anymore. I'm now 35
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, I guess I need to eat real food now, right? And it's funny how we go, and it's Johnny's point, what worked at 30 and 40, Johnny, when we hit our 50s, it does not work the same way, does it, my brother?
No. Well, and then what happens, I think what I'm starting to realize is that and I'll put this like really simply, when I say learn or grow, it represents everything.
Yeah.
But I used to be able to just go, learn, grow, rest. Now I have to learn, grow, rest. And I'm recognizing when I rest, that learn and grow actually fucking grows a lot more. Does that make sense?
That is absolutely.
It's almost like, think of it almost like a muscle. Overwork the muscle, it doesn't respond the way you want it to. And just little things like, fuck, yesterday I missed my nap. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
fucking put me. I had to go pick up our G-Wagon was getting serviced, right? And coming home from there, god damn it, man. I thank God that car has the thing where if you get to the white line on the side of the road, it fucking jerks and pulls you back in.
Oh yeah, I hate that shit, man.
Oh dude, yesterday I hate it too. Until yesterday I couldn't keep my fucking eyes open. I was like, thank fucking God this thing has got these fucking safety precautions. I'd have been off of the fucking woods, man.
I will still admit that I'm learning how to rest. Even Johnny is
and that's what I've been. It's like in my meditation. Okay, what right now is the one thing that I could consider call it a superpower, like a piece of something that I'm not really leveraging, and it's fucking rest.
Yeah, and Johnny, it's interesting you said, and I like Marty, just to teach our younger brother here, it's being mindful of it that I really have to work at. Which is okay. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go, okay, so I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to put some work down. And then I got to tell myself that if I just lay here and do a 15-minute nap or a power nap, that it's the right thing. It's not to stress me out. It's not to work me up, because in the past I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing here? I got to get up. I got to tell myself that it's the right thing right now.
Yep.
Like I got to do it, because I don't do it. We talk about it, Marty, but I'm not good. I got to get better at it, Marty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I struggle with that too. So I'm at the point now where I'm trying to. I had to take a day away from my training. I don't train on Fridays at all.
Yes,
I get my rest. Also, I got to be at the gym earlier. That's why I haven't been here on Fridays. But I just use that to get rest, because during the week I'm on go nonstop. Even when I got off yesterday, somebody invited me on their podcast. So I just been literally nonstop. Like, I don't know how I do it, but I do it.
Interesting, Johnny.
Yeah, what I was, because obviously, what is it that we can think, or what runs through our minds that makes us recognize the power of that rest? Because like you said, Keith, I need to do this right now. That, for whatever reason, you're totally correct, but that a lot of times won't get me to do what I know I need to do.
I know.
When I think about this right now is going to give me more growth, more benefit. Then all of a sudden, that's the currency for my mind, because I want to fucking do this right now. But does it help me, or does it maybe not hurt me? I guess you could say help me or hurt me, because it's kind of one way or the next, So when I think of if I take this time to rest, I'm going to be that much more effective. And that's what, to me, in my mind, that's what makes the sense. Everybody has their own way of how they got to spin it, to lock in with there's a currency in our minds. Like, fuck, that's it.
Yep. I go through the same thing throughout my day. When I look at my day, look at the rest of my day, look at my schedule. I'm like, okay, if I sit here right now or take a rest for 15 minutes, I can do something later today that I can be productive at. If I don't take the rest now, then I'm going to be done later. But I actually I literally am having a conversation with myself to do it, Johnny. It sounds like you're doing the same way, because my natural response is not to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Because when we were younger, just like Mark, we could just fucking go.
That's exactly it. It's exactly it. All right, guys, listen, we're going to talk napping in the second hour, Johnny. I got a topic actually, interestingly enough, that gets into that. But we got Nicole Bernard in the green room. Before we get there, I got a topic that I think is going to be intriguing to Nicole and be intriguing to us. Guys, have you ever pushed yourself so hard physically that it feels like your brain is turning against you? There's been some new research, and Bernard, ears up. New research reveals your brain might actually be consuming its own tissue. During
it's crazy.
During extreme endurance events like marathons. Nicole's like, holy shit, I can't run any marathons anymore. Yeah, you heard that right. Your brain eats itself. Understanding what's happening in our brains during extreme exercise doesn't just satisfy our curiosity. It actually can revolutionize how we approach endurance training, recovery, and even neurological diseases. Recently, in Nature Metabolism, they unveiled a metabolic myelin plasticity. Oh, Johnny, there's that word for you. This phenomenon describes how during marathons, when glucose levels drop significantly, our brains temporarily consume myelin, the fatty insulation around the nerve fibers, as an emergency energy source. MRIs of marathon runners showed substantial myelin depletion post-race, particularly in regions linked to motor skills and emotional processing. Remarkably, this depletion is temporary, serving as an adaptive survival mechanism rather than causing permanent damage. And guys, as we know, the brain swiftly regenerates its lost myelin, beginning recovery within just 2 weeks with full restoration by 2 months post-marathon. And then there's some specialized cells around the brain that kick into gear, producing new lipids to rebuild the protective sheaths. So really, I found this was quite interesting that if you're an endurance athlete or planning on running a marathon, here's the takeaway. Nicole, prioritize your recovery, and we were talking about it this morning, as seriously as your training. Ensure your nutritional plan includes not just glucose replenishment, but also healthy fats to support myelin regeneration. And then I did a little more research, guys, and what it also told me is that folks who will complete a marathon or complete an endurance event are often caught up with a bunch of emotional expression when it's said and done. Much that has to do with that myelin being eating around the brain. So quite fascinating how our bodies work, eh? Our bodies are machines, which are quite fascinating to me.
Oh, dude, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's highly adaptive and literally designed to survive in the worst fucking conditions. We don't realize how, as human beings, we could endure the most discomfort, the most pain, the will to live, which is like we're programmed with the will to live.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. What's I was saying to Carter, Johnny, I'm sure you say to your daughters too, like sometimes we put ourselves in difficult situations and we get scared. I've been encouraging Carter to ask yourself the question, are you going to die? If the answer is no, then what are you scared of? And I don't want to be diminishing of the fear, but like your body's strong, man. Your body's a machine. Your brain is strong. If you're not going to die, maybe consider what the regret is by not taking the effort. You know what I mean by that comment, guys? Like
brother, I love that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And I kind of spin it from the other side, when someone says, that's fucking risky or that's whatever, they're quantifying the danger or whatever. Think of it like this, life is risky. None of us are getting out alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're all going to fucking die in the end.
Yes.
Right before you die, you're going to look back and ask yourself a question. I don't know if this for sure, but in my mind, this is how it works. You're going to look back and go, are you fucking happy with what you put forth? Or are you fucking looking back going, Jesus Christ, you should have had some fucking sack.
That's
exactly. Stood up and tried some shit.
It's exactly. Regret aside and work on yourself. All right, boys, let's do the accountability.
Let me have one thing. I was just going to say on that note, you're developing a skill set over years.
Yes.
You're developing a skill set to overcome adversity. A lot of people don't even realize they built that skill set up for the past 2 or 3 decades. Like, bro, you're good at getting through shit. Like, lean into that, embrace it,
Oh, and I like what you're saying there, Marty, too, because when you do that over a period of time, you gain the confidence, and we know what confidence does for us, right? But what it also does for us as well, it builds up that logic bank in our head. So that when you wake up at 35 and you say to yourself, I'm not good at something, and I say, well, Marty, what have you done for the last 10 years? And you're like, oh, yeah. Like, there's no logic to support what you're questioning yourself with, right? Exactly. And when logic can make you question your reality, it really sets you in your place, right? Because you're like, oh, right, I've been doing that for the last 10 years. There's no logic for the way I'm feeling right now. No, there's no logic. It's like we say, get that story out of your head and start telling a different one, right? So, all right, boys, let's take a quick break. We're going to bring Nicole Bernard in. We're going to have some fun with Nicole. All right, let's do it. Jimmy, accountability check-in. Guys, do you think you deserve better? I'll tell you what's talking. That's entitlement talking in your ears. It shows up loud. Yeah, when the plans fall apart, when effort is not rewarded. I had Johnny correct me one day and I'm like, hey, and he's like, no. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I don't like entitlement. No, entitlement, set it aside, put the effort in. When life doesn't play fair, and it's that those feelings can feel justified, but it drains you and it keeps you stuck. Here's something I learned about practicing gratitude daily instead. It grounds you when things get chaotic. It cuts through frustration and blame. It makes you accountable. It helps you with your habits because instead of waiting for things to change and change your attitude, that's when the momentum builds. Same situation, different energy. One leaves you stuck. The other makes you unstoppable. Listen, you need a reset. I invite you to try this tonight. Write down 3 things. What didn't go your way today? How have you responded and what have you learned? And what's one thing you're grateful anyways? I'm going to tell you guys this. It's going to help you stay grounded. It's going to put logic in front of you because life's curveballs, they come from a place of gratitude instead of entitlement. Think about that. Life's curveballs, they come from a place of gratitude, not entitlement. When we're grateful, magic happens. There's accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends every day, 8:15 Eastern time. All right, Jimmy, I'm going to get our intro going here. A year ago, I had an idea to start a morning show, and I was looking for a host. And I was like, hey, I had one of my first guests on Live and Lab with Keith and Friends, and I knocked on somebody's door. Her name was Nicole Bernard, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a morning show. And she's like, hey, I'm thinking about doing something long and difficult from a running perspective. I need an accountability partner. I'm like, hey, let's do this together. So March 11th, we started Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Nicole. And life went on. We created this foundation. The summer came and Nicole's commitments arose. And she's like, Keith, I got to keep on with my commitments and everything. And I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm like, awesome. So Keith kept the show going. Nicole kept their business rolling, kept their family rolling, and we kept going on with life. Well, a year and a bit later, excited, ridiculously excited to bring back Nicole Bernard. She was supposed to be here on March 11th, but got caught up in the details of that one. Joking aside, Nicole. But listen, Nicole, entrepreneur since 2007, founder of a marketing agency, specializing in making marketing approachable and manageable for overwhelmed small business owners. She has a wonderful podcast, Bubbles and Biz. She sits down, crushes a bottle of champagne, and talks business with her guests, offering marketing tips, motivational stories to build community amongst entrepreneurs. But listen, Johnny, today, Nicole is here to talk about something quite dear to her heart, and she's going to run 24 miles in 24 hours, and we're going to talk about that. So listen, let's pause all the discussion a quick second to welcome back to the lab Nicole Bernard. Jimmy, there she is.
Hey,
Nicole, how are you?
I'm good.
You made it. How are you, kid?
I'm good. No, I had to like restart my browser. Like I couldn't get shit to work, and I was like, "Are you kidding? Like, are you fucking kidding me again?" But I'm here.
So we spent months together. You never dropped any bad words. And Jimmy, she's on the show for the first sentence, and she's already dropping the shit word. I'm just Johnny. You're already having an influence on this young lady. You haven't even met her yet.
How are y'all? It's good to see you guys.
Oh, we're awesome. So listen, when you're not turning entrepreneurs into confident marketers, you're pushing yourself in sports challenges like some upcoming 4x4 24, a charity supporting undeserved kids. But before we get there, I want to talk about that with you today. How have you been? How has life been? We haven't connected over the last year. It's been shaken. There's Marty. What's been going on with you and Nicole Bernard?
It's same. Just running the business, still drinking champagne out of my closet. I started a second podcast as a passion project a few weeks ago. So pretty much same old stuff. Like life is going pretty fast, but it's great. I can't complain.
That's awesome. So Nicole, you're running 4 miles every 4 hours. And when I reached out to you about a year ago, you called me because you ran, what was the article you wrote in Entrepreneur Magazine? What was it? 24 What was that? What was the first one you did? 40?
It was 48 hours. That was the Goggins challenge. This is kind of like a condensed one.
Yeah. So now you're doing 4 miles every 4 hours for 24 hours. Yep. Why?
Yeah. Well, we start Friday at 5. But yeah, kind of like what y'all were talking about. So we're raising money in our community for underserved kids in our community that, would like to get out and play sports, but need a little bit of help. And it's also too that the physical part that y'all were just talking about. Yeah. Like the mental. When we can teach younger people how to push themselves, especially like I feel like this day and age, we're just helping set them up for more down the line in their lives. And so that's a lot of it too. Is the how hard it will be, but how good they're going to feel after doing it, plus raising some money.
So what it sounds
learning. I just got to jump in real quick, man. So that's so good because you teaching the youth to overcome adversity, and the feeling that they get from that. The sooner they experience that shit, the better their lives going to be.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Nicole, so what you're actually teaching them is mental endurance, aren't you? So So here's what I'm hearing you say. You're actually doing the physical work.
God damn.
What I think you're actually saying is that the mental teaching is what we're actually teaching the kids.
Yeah, definitely. Because when we can make ourselves uncomfortable, right? We all know how that you feel like you can accomplish lots of things. So like John said, the younger we're able to like get that message to them and they experience it, the better.
Now, I think there was a reason for this 4x4, this charity event that you're involved in. Is there not, Nicole?
It's mainly to raise money.
Okay. Yes. So that was my point. Like it's raising money for what charity or for what event or for what organization?
Yeah. So there is an awesome guy in my community. His name's Cheno, and he does these different challenges throughout the year to raise money for different kids that might need different aspects, whether it's sports or he raised money for a girl to go to Washington, D.C. But this one specifically, is for a soccer team over in White Salmon, which is just right across the river from me, to help them get things that they need for their season. Which so soccer to me, even closer to my heart. So
you mentioned soccer. You made an incredible post last week on LinkedIn about your soccer journey and how it brought you here. Talk about the influence of soccer in your life. Talk about what it does for you today and how it really is the foundation for your business, for your decisions, for this run, and for soccer is a big part of Nicole Bernard.
Yeah, definitely. I've been playing since I was 4, so it'll be 40 years this year. Just grew up kicking a soccer ball against a barn for hours, literally hours, and didn't realize that was just teaching me how to, put the reps in. And then kind of fast forward throughout my life of playing high school, travel. I missed my senior year homecoming because I was traveling for soccer, a lot of disciplines, and I didn't realize I was absorbing, and then met amazing people. My best friend, I got to travel. So just so many different things through sport. I probably wouldn't have been exposed to had I not done it.
To hear you say that, I love what you just said, that, you're kicking soccer balls against the barn wall. And I think about, myself or my son hitting, shooting hockey pucks into a net, or Johnny in the gym just putting the reps in, or Marty at the basketball just throwing the balls. And while we're doing it, we're not recognizing what it's doing for us later in life.
Yeah.
When you because even Marty was talking about it right earlier on in the show here. When you sit back now and think about all those balls you hit against the wall, what do you think that's taught you today, Nicole, when it comes to running business?
Yeah. Kind of teaches you to keep going. Even if you don't feel like it, you know that you're not quite doing all that you need to be doing. So you continue to do it. Another thing I really learned through playing was balancing different things. I had to balance school and social events and going to practice in New Orleans. That also taught me a lot of entrepreneurial skills that I didn't realize I'd need, because I didn't think about it back then. But just learning how to balance was another big part of it as well. And just, a lot of people skills too. You learn a lot of relationship things as you move through a sport that, you kind of learn that to have later on in life as well.
So Johnny and Marty, Nicole Bernard is a David Goggins disciple. She is a beast.
Okay.
And as I got to know Nicole, as unassuming as she is, she has this mental strength inside of her, this resilience inside of her that you don't see on the front of it, but is incredible. Nicole, where have you found that mental resilience, that mental strength? I watch your content. I see the challenges you put yourself through. John and Marty, this is not a 6 foot, this is an unassuming woman who's just doing her thing, but mentally gets after it nonstop. Nicole, where did you find that mental resilience in your life?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned David Goggins, because that was probably the biggest, the first time I ever did his challenge, was a huge breakthrough. And that was also coming off of starting my own kind of inner journey after my parents both passed away.
Yes.
So kind of digging into, you guys just said life is so short and we're all going to die. So, just kind of digging into things like that, and then putting the physical aspect of pushing myself. When my friend asked me to do it, I was like, that's funny. No.
Yeah.
So when you do something that you don't even think that you'll be able to finish, which is another reason why I'm really excited to get these kids to do it too.
Yes.
Yeah. Just that first one was probably where I was like, okay, I can do really hard things and not die.
One of the things
I'm just going to step on a limb here. I'm totally going a limb. I'm kind of taking a page out of my book. I'm listening to who you are. It sounds like there's some bit of application here. My guess is that when you push yourself physically and you get deep in there, you probably find it's peaceful, it's quiet, and we want to go back there.
Yeah.
And so when you these challenges and things, a lot of times the people look at the pain and the discomfort. You don't see the pain and discomfort. You see the peace on the other side of that.
100%. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I've never thought of it like that, but you're so right.
Well, and I'm thinking, Nicole, you've talked on when you and I were doing the show, and I've seen the content you've posted about the impact your parents passing had on your life. And obviously all of it, when any of us lose a parent, it has an impact, but yours clearly had an impact, which, as John says, never turn a good tragedy into, what's the saying, Johnny, you have there? Never
let a good tragedy go to waste.
Right. So that tragedy happened to you. It changed your life in many ways, didn't it, Nicole? Because you found a way to look inside you to take the next step forward to the next journey of your life. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, definitely. And I guess I should say too, around that same time, we ended up closing our business, like our first business. Yeah. So there was just a lot of rugs being like ripped out, that felt like at the time. And so just continuing to move forward a little bit and then kind of finding that Goggins challenge, that was when like everything was like, you can do really hard things. So
like you found solace through movement, didn't you? And that movement created momentum for you. And we talk about it all the time on this show, that when you were in a down place, you simply got moving.
Yep. And that's how I got into running. I'm not really a runner. I actually don't really like, I would rather play soccer or kick a soccer ball for 8 hours against a barn.
Yeah.
After my dad passed away, that was how I started. That's how I dealt with my grief, was intuitively like, okay, I will back up. I'm from like Irish Catholic background. So there was a good bit of drinking. And then I was like, okay, something has to change. And then I started moving.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing.
No kidding. That's awesome. Hey, with Nicole Bernard, myself, Jon Andersen, and C. Marty Fick, Christopher Martin. Hey, Nicole, do you want to stick around for the next segment? We're going to talk a little bit of rejection. Do you have some time to stick around?
Sure. Yeah, totally. Okay. Everybody's still sleeping. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. So, Marty, you're going to do the fit tip. We're going to come back and keep rock and rolling, okay? Let's do it, guys.
I got to roll after, too.
Sounds good, brother. All right, let's do it. Marty's up with the fit tip.
Fellas, stop skipping leg day, man. I know you think leg days for the ladies only. 2025, we got to cut that out. All right. Now I know we all know some older guys with hip issues, back problems. Someone in my family, a guy has 2 hip replacements. The list goes on. Knee issues. The list goes on. It is imperative that we're doing some type of leg work. You don't have to squat 600, 800 pounds like Johnny used to do back in the day, right? You don't have to do box jumps, right? You don't have to do 48-inch, 60-inch box jumps like myself, like I like to do. But you got to get some work in, right? When these muscles get weak, this is going to affect your movement and your longevity, right? So think about running around with kids, running around with grandkids possibly, and not being able to do that because you neglected the leg work when you were able-bodied and fully capable, right? Think about these things as you age and don't take it for granted. I had a client today, one of my male clients. We were just doing some dynamic stretching. He just turned 50 and just struggling to do simple things like Frankenstein's, a lateral lunge to stretch your groin. Don't take these things for granted. Get that work in, fellas. And no, it's not going to make you look like a woman because you work your legs regularly. That's the fitness tip for today.
Just get your legs done. Yes. That's the foundation of our body, guys. You got to get those legs done. Marty, great tip here today, brother. You go get after it today and go take care of the boys at the gym there and get everybody getting their legs done today, Marty.
I'll make sure. Some people got legs.
Have a good look, brother.
You too. See y'all tomorrow. Right, Nicole, great seeing you.
Yeah, you too.
Yep. All right. I'll see y'all. Yep.
All right, Marty. We'll see you later, pal. All right, Marty's out of here for the day. We'll be back here tomorrow with us hanging out here in the lab. You got myself, Jon Andersen, and Nicole Bernard, one of the OGs here in the lab. But guys, we're going to keep the show going here with Nicole. We're going to bring it back to her in a second. But before we do that, I want to get into the main topic today about rejection. But Nicole, we got Rick Clody joining us here in the comments. Rick is a big fan of the show, and his comment was, "I can do hard things and not die." Nicole Bernard. Yeah, that's exactly it. And he says, "I grew up in New Orleans, and David Goggins lives a couple miles from me here in Tennessee, and I see him running all the time." And then we got 3R in the comments as well. Good to see you, 3R. I'm glad you joined us here on the show this morning. We were talking with Nicole Bernard and myself, Jon Andersen here kicking after it. But guys, I got a little bit of a confessional discussion here. How facing my fear of rejection transformed my life. Nicole, have you ever had somebody slam a door in your face, literally? Because I have. And here's why it was the best thing that ever happened to me, right? You see, early in my career, John, I don't know if I've told you this, but I had a job selling Xerox copiers, fax machines, all that old office equipment. Johnny, you probably still have a fax machine in your house that an old Xerox guy sold you. Now, if you've ever done cold call sales, you know rejection becomes a pretty familiar companion. And back then, when I was doing it, guys, rejection felt personal. Every no seemed like an indictment of who I was, my worth, my skills. And I remember vividly knocking on doors, pitching passionately, only to face rejection after rejection after rejection. But here's the secret that Xerox taught me, something I carry to this day. Great salespeople, great business leaders, they don't just tolerate rejection. We talk about it all the time in the lab book. They embrace it. In fact, facing rejection is exactly what a business leader, a business owner, a salesperson is paid to do. You think about it, Keith and Johnny growing the show, we face rejection every single day. And we're not even getting paid for it. But we're facing rejection because it's going against the stream. And if you think about it, Nicole, sales at its core is about navigating through a sea of no's to find the one yes. And Xerox drilled this into me, that every rejection wasn't a failure. It was simply doing my job well. Think about when you get under the bench and you fail. It's not rejection. It's just one step no to saying yes, right? And as I was internalizing this, as I was going through my career, something powerful shifted inside of me. That realization just didn't make me better at selling copiers or fax machines. It actually changed my whole life. I stopped seeing rejection as something to avoid or failure. I learned that instead I seeked it out, because every time that I seeked out rejection, it taught me valuable lessons about resilience, communication, and persistence. Think about a bad goalie in hockey. Gets 100 shots on him every single game. 5 games at 5. Do you think he's better getting all those shots or not getting any shots? Obviously better with the shots. Dude, if you're in sales or growing a business, you want to be rejected because you're learning. Right?
I'm sorry, brother, because failure, just to kind of go on what you're saying, failure is not the opposite of success.
No.
It's a part of success. So if you want to pursue success, the easier way to do it is to pursue the failure, because the failure is what actually gives you the information you need to get on the right track to find your success.
So right, Johnny. And Nicole, if I lean into this, you fast forward to my entrepreneurial journey, pitching ideas, seeking investments, negotiating deals. Rejection was everywhere in my world. And Nicole, I got to think in Bubbles and Biz and your business, rejection's everywhere. But now rejection was my ally, guiding me toward greater clarity and stronger opportunities. ICUC was I built it. My biggest entrepreneurial win came only after countless rejections and redirections. I can't count how many times I was rejected, you guys. But here's the thing. Avoiding rejection doesn't protect us. No, it isolates us. Embracing rejection builds courage. It builds character and genuine confidence. It teaches us the most important lesson of all, that our value isn't determined by someone else's no. And I'm reminded of that by Johnny all the time. I love John for that. He's always reminding me of, don't place your value in that motherfucker over there. Just like how we started the show today. Some guy ghosted me yesterday. He's like, what the fuck are you wasting your time with that guy? And he's right. That's not my, and I was defending myself, but it's about my respect and integrity. And he's like, well, no, because now you're placing your value on what else somebody else is thinking. That's wrong. So let me ask you this. What's one risk you're avoiding right now because you're scared of rejection? I know there's something. I know there is. Imagine just for a second how unstoppable you'd feel if rejection no longer had power over you. So I got a challenge for you guys today. Take one small, bold step. Embrace the possibility of rejection, and you might be surprised at what happens. And as I wrap up this little monologue, guys, remember, life's greatest opportunities. Think about Nicole. She was invited to go for a run, and she's like, fuck, I don't run. I hate it. Right? And she could have rejected it. But instead, she embraced it. And when she did that, she opened some doors boldly. And I know what's happened since then. Amazing things kept happening for Nicole along the way. Think about Johnny's journey from bodybuilder to wrestler to strongman. If you would have rejected one of those things, he's not sitting here today. So guys, you got this. Walk towards rejection. Walk towards failure. I'm living proof that rejection is the key to success.
Let me tell it just a brief story about how I taught myself to pursue it. Yes. Now, I'm not suggesting this works for everybody, but it worked for me, right? So it's a weightlifting story because obviously that's where I taught most of myself the skill sets that I need, the mental tenacity and everything, the discipline that I needed to do what I do. Most people say squatting. They say, okay, I'm gonna take this weight off and I'm gonna do 5 reps. I'm gonna do 6 reps, right? And then I'm gonna put it away. That's the train of thought of most people, if not the majority by a long shot. Well, when I needed to teach myself to literally, okay, I need to make progress way faster than everybody around me because I'm trying to do things that most people aren't trying to do. I flipped the whole script on how I looked at, say, the squat. I said, okay, I'm going to put the bar on the outside of the cage so there's no safety. And I'm going to, so it used to like 700 was my number. I would put 700 pounds on there. I'd walk it out, you know, and even my spotters would fucking get behind me and I would yell at them, get the fuck out of here. You know, I don't want anybody near me because in my mind, I'm walking this bar out, no safety catches. And I'm going to fail. I'm not putting it away. That's been decided before I picked it up.
That's been decided.
Now the question is simple. How many fucking reps am I going to get? I'm going to go through at some point. I'm going to have to fucking figure out how to get out from underneath this bar without it fucking crushing me. So I might as well get a few fucking reps while I'm in here. Yeah. so when you already accept the failure part's already been decided. Now you're not bothered with that anymore. Now you're just okay. Well, if I'm gonna go through if I'm gonna spill this thing on the fucking ground, I better get a fucking reward. How many reps am I gonna get before that happens? And when you come up from the other side, now all of a sudden you've already accepted it. Put it to the side, get it out of the way, and get your work done.
I like the idea of accepting that it's going to happen. I had the conversation with Carter and the boys over the weekend. They're going to score against you. Like, so don't pretend they're not. Nicole, it's like soccer, right? They're going to score against you. How you react when you score is going to be the measurement. Or when you're running. Nicole, I'm thinking about you. That's why I thought today's topic was so succinct for our discussion, because you do these crazy endurance things. I'm calling them crazy. You do these crazy endurance things that you know along the way there's going to be this idea of rejection. Mm-hmm. Yet you do it again. Mm-hmm. Why?
I mean, it's just part of the journey, right? I mean,
yes. And it teaches you, right? It teaches your kids. It teaches you everything, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. How do you relate to rejection with business, Nicole? Like, I know you got a successful marketing business. Rejection's a big key of business. You know, you're talking to 10 people, 9.5 of them are saying no. Mm-hmm. Has your endurance athletics and the way that you live life through the lens of athletics, would you say that the foundation to how you run your business?
Yeah. I mean, and I think it used to affect me a lot more when I was younger in the business, you know, like as we grow and we learn and understand our perspective on life. But yeah, same thing. I mean, if you lose a game, it's like, man, that really sucks. But again, it's all part of the sport. So how can I bounce back? What can I do next? Like, how do I keep going, even though, you know, I just poured my heart out on the field, or I just poured my heart out in a proposal that they shot down, you know, like, how do you just keep going? So.
Yes. Johnny?
You know, early on, I had a football coach, and he used to tell us before we would go out, because he just kind of put it in perspective. He'd say, listen, winning doesn't feel nearly as good as losing feels bad. So let's decide, you know, what we're going to do right here and right now.
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
Winning doesn't feel nearly as good as losing feels bad.
Yes.
So let's make a decision right now. What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm. I'm really stuck on what you said, Johnny, about when you got out of the rack, is that you already accepted that there was going to be failure happening. That's
meaning like you 100%. I'm not putting this bar away. This bar is I'm gonna fucking spill this thing on the ground. It's gonna be a fucking yard sale. The key is, you know, how many fucking reps am I going to get before I spill this fucker on the ground and the gym management gets all fucking bent out of shape? Yeah. You know, so, you know, the question is now is how many do I get?
Yeah. But I like the learning of that, because you're teaching yourself, and I don't think we as humans think about it enough. You're teaching yourself what's going to happen when you fail, because we as humans don't naturally think about failure. Nicole, we always think about winning. My confidence always says I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm never thinking about when I fail, how am I going to respond? That's what Johnny's talking about. And I'm thinking, and I got to think, Nicole, looking at you, in many ways, you're the same way when you started run. Like, okay, I'm going to do 4x24, but there's a good chance this one's not going to go very well, but I got to do it again in a few hours from now. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, you're hanging out with Keith, Jon, and Nicole here. Before we get to the lifestyle tip, Nicole, a couple quick questions for you before we rock and roll with you. What's the craziest challenge or dare? And I got this one written down here to ask you because I know how you got into your first race. Somebody said, "Hey, why don't you do this with me?" What's been the craziest challenge or dare you've accepted that turned into a great business idea?
Oh, I don't know. Into a great business idea? I have no idea. I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I have to think about that.
How about a motivational story that really changed your perspective on entrepreneurship?
An entrepreneur, like another. Okay. Oh man, Keith, you gotta give me these questions ahead of time. It's my time.
This is the best way, when you're on the hot seat and you got to fucking pull it out, and that's when they're the best.
All right. So here we go. Rapid fire, Nicole. Favorite champagne pairing: oysters or chocolate? I know the answer. What's the audience thinking?
Oh God, I don't like oysters, so chocolate.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, listen, we got Jorie Janzen coming up here in a couple minutes. We've got a couple fun things to talk about. Nicole, you want to stick around with us? We're going to talk about screen fatigue. I got some nutrients to protect eyes, and then we're going to talk about pre-workout. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Johnny, but I found some interesting more stuff to talk about when it comes to the stuff that's going into our body with Jorie Janzen. So Nicole, you're welcome to stick around for that conversation. Until then, though, the next minute we got Jon doing the lifestyle tip, and then we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Want to do that?
Yeah. Also, I need the screen fatigue help. So yes.
Beautiful. Let's do it, Johnny. Let's get after it, pal.
Let's go. What did I get myself into? Holy shit. That's what I was thinking when I showed up to college as a freshman, and then realized that the books I was going to have to read were way beyond my skill set at that point in my life. I realized that I had to figure out how to solve this problem. So I went to the bookstore, grabbed a couple of books, went back to my dorm room, opened them up, and I was like, first thing I thought was, where are all the pictures? Because the books that I had been fucking with had pictures. Yeah, that kind of tells the story. Well, I quickly realized when I tried to read that first chapter, read it 3 times, I had no clue what I read. So I was like, okay, I need to go a different route. Now, this is really where the story starts. Because I was challenged with learning, I had to create my own way of doing things. I became a really, really good problem solver. So how do you solve this problem? You're in college and you can't read the books. Well, I went to each professor and I said, hey, how much of this material is in the books and how much this material is in the final? And how much is in the books and how much is in the lectures, so I can understand what's going to be in the final. And some of them said 75% in the lectures, 25% in the books. I was like, I'm fine. I'll nail the lectures and I'll get basically 70-ish on the test. I'm good. Some of the professors said, well, you got about 50-50. Well, then that told me, shit, I have to find somebody to help me get the information out of that book. This is how literally I got myself through college when I showed up and was reading at probably about a 9th grade level. And that's probably giving myself too much credit. But the moral of the story is this: just because you have a shortcoming and you learn to deal with it, you're problem solving. That shortcoming is actually an opportunity for you to get better. Now, because I became such a good problem solver early in life, this is what gave me my entrepreneur skill set, because business is all about problem solving. And I look at problems and I see a very simple, straightforward way to get through it, because that's what resonated with me. That's how I was able to overcome my shortcomings. So that being said, remember this: if you struggle with something, look at it as an opportunity, because those things that we think in many cases are holding us back, they're actually opportunities for us to move forward 10x. So remember, look at everything as an opportunity. Rock and roll.
Jon, and got goosebumps, man. I love when you share your personal stories, man. You inspire me. You do, to this day.
Well, thank you, brother.
It's because I know your journey, and Nicole, I can't imagine what it would have been like growing up. Johnny, you've talked about it with dyslexia, can't read, looking at words, they don't make any sense to you. Like I can't imagine that. And I can't imagine growing up in a world where there's no internet and you're a self-employed human having to market yourself. So he's a bodybuilder, wrestler, strength guy. He's like, yeah, I got to go promote myself, right? So I can't imagine how he got through all that. So Johnny, I appreciate that. Of course, we got Jorie Janzen joining us here this morning. Jorie and Nicole, Jorie. Nicole was one of the originators of the show with me when I had a ridiculous idea to get the show started. She's back here to hang out with us today. And Nicole, Jorie Janzen is our resident food nutrition expert. She's the one who has all the science. John has all the real life experience. And between the two of them, we create magical gold every single day. But before we get into the topics, Jorie was away at the dentist on Monday, and she sent me a text on Sunday, Johnny. She's like, Keith, I can't be there tomorrow. I got to go to the dentist. And I'm thinking, holy fuck, man, you're choosing the dentist over me and Johnny? She's like, yeah, I don't mind going. I'm like, who are you? Like, who enjoys going, besides my wife, who enjoys going to the dentist? Nicole, do you like going to the dentist?
No, sorry.
Jorie's like, I don't mind. I just get to the middle of my day. I'm like, who the hell are you?
Well, I like to get it done early enough so it's out of my way. But I mean, it's a necessary, right? I mean, just like anything else that we do, whether it's training for an event or to work for health or getting blog done, whatever it might be, it's a necessary. So, but if you upkeep, it's part of your routine. Maybe it's not the most exciting part of it. You get to say, hey, no cavities. It is what it is.
I think dentists are scammers. Johnny, dentists are scammers, man. They're just all scammers, man.
Well, I'm 53 years old and I've got one itty bitty cavity off on the side of one of my teeth in the back.
I don't have any, and I attribute it to my love for cannabis because of it affects my saliva, so that I think there's I got to find some science to back that up, you guys. I really got to back.
Well, saliva it does because it helps decrease the bacteria.
Yes,
which then right, but also like good oral hygiene overall is healthy. There's so many reasons to make sure, and not everyone has the lifestyle or genetics. Like my teeth, I have groovy teeth. And what I mean by that is that so going for my every 6 month, which I'm blessed to have benefits plan. It helps in terms of making sure that my groovy teeth stay healthy. So.
Your groovy teeth. So I got a couple of topics for us to get into today, and they both are related to Jorie's areas of expertise. It comes to food, nutrition, and stuff. But before I get there, I want to share a ridiculously positive story that I received today. Johnny, you got it as well. And I think the timing of it is great. Nicole, you here, and Jorie, you here. I really want you guys to hear this. I got a message last night from a very regular listener, and I want to share it with you guys because it moved me. And John, you received it as well. And this listener sent me a note, and he said, greetings, brother. I just want to touch base with you. I have TIA. And my episodes that I get are mini strokes, and I had quite a few in 1 week, and I'm wearing a heart monitor until I get more tests done. I can't thank you, Keith and Marty, and he sent this to Johnny, for the show. If it wasn't for you and your experience with your meal plan and workouts, I might not be here. By losing 30 plus pounds, the results may have been different with these AFib upper heart issues that cause strokes and not VFib. As I'm waiting on the test, I'll be back to listening to the show. This show changed my life, and I'm still motivated by what you guys do and helping guys like me. And Johnny, this guy reached out to us on the show a number of months back, and Johnny said, send me a text. I want to help you out. So
you're talking about Benzie.
John's been helping. I don't know if you publicize his name, you fucker.
What's that? Say again. What did I do?
We just said his name. Yeah, Benzie, which I love. No, it's
I mean, shit, forgive me, but I mean, what Benzie, God damn it. What an amazing story, brother. And if I'm sorry if I pulled the curtain open on you, but this is the kind of shit that people need a face and a name to believe.
Yeah. So in all that jesting, I just jest with you, Johnny. Benzie, I'm proud of you, man. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I want to
the crazy part about it is because basically when he came in and said he needed help, I told my main guy, I said, look, let's find out what he needs. And if he can't pay, don't worry about it. We'll take care of him. If he wants to contribute, I don't care either way. Let's just find out what he wants to do. And basically came down to where he didn't really have anything to contribute, which was totally fine. So ultimately, because I wanted him to be successful, I made the most simple, easy to execute plan, right? Because obviously, if he's going to be contributing, it'd be going to be more of my time. I'd have more time to guide him. And so because it was going to be a little bit more of a distance in the relationship, I made this really simple, easy to execute plan. And because of that, it's simple, it's easy, it's effective,
and he's winning.
Feeling better, and he wants to continue. And that's the way this shit should be. What I'm getting at is, for those of you guys think that getting healthy is going to be like this, oh fuck, I don't want to do this, this sucks, I'm blah blah blah. No, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be freaking hungry all the time. You don't have to be tired. You don't have to have all of this quality of your life stripped away to do what you want to do. You just have to understand it's knowledge based. It's information. When you get the right information, it becomes it's simple, which makes it easier, but ultimately you get the results, which makes you want to continue. And that's Benzie.
Yes, we're Benzie, we're rooting for you, man. I appreciate you sharing with us. And as Johnny said, it's the information that helps you move forward. And we have some information that's going to help us all move forward. And this first little piece of information is about our eyes. And are your eyes tired from endless screen time? Ever experienced blurred vision or disrupted sleep after staring at your devices all day? Next couple minutes, we're going to dive into powerful nutrients. That's why Jorie's here. That can help protect your eyes and boost your vision right from the diet. Jorie, I found something here, and I shared it with you this morning. There's been some new research highlighting that the combination of, and I hope I'm saying the words right, lutein and zeaxanthin significantly reduces eye strain and improves vision among people spending more than 6 hours daily on screens. Now, these nutrients naturally accumulate in your retina, aiding visual function. And to get these nutrients and how to boost our eye health, guys, we're talking about incorporating more lutein and zeaxanthin-rich foods, things like kale, spinach, broccoli, carrots, pistachios, and eggs. And you know what I love about this list, you guys, is that we talk about this often about protein and eating whole, rich foods. But while we're eating this, it's also making our eyes better. Jorie, when I shared this study with you, when you're talking with athletes and we're talking about our eyes, what comes to mind with you when it comes to eye health and nutrients that help our eyes? Jorie.
Well, if you look at just the correlations between everything, it goes back to what we've been talking about for a long time, is the more variety that you include into your nutrition plan, then the most likely you're going to meet caloric, energy, and nutrient requirements. So calories and nutrients should match. They don't always, right? So the more variety of these whole foods that you include is just going to be of benefit overall. So none of these foods are magical. We've all heard of carrots, sweet potatoes, right? High in vitamin A, which we know forever is good for eye health. Things like spinach, kale are dark green. So if we think of our vibrant colored veggies and fruit, so our orange, yellow, red, dark greens veggies, those are going to have a huge impact. And then our deep purples, blues, reds, those are our fruits that are going to help have that impact in terms of eye health and overall health. And so you can look at lutein and zeaxanthins, and those are big words. We can also put it into everyday foods. They also, in terms of eye health, which helps with moisture too, will be things like omega-3 foods. Salmon, eggs are also awesome food that has lutein and zinc and zeaxanthins. So all of those nutrients. So the more variety you get, the more likely you're going to be okay.
Yeah. And just to make sure everybody's understanding here, what Jorie says right on the money. But I want to make sure you guys are understanding that you're, oh man, my eyesight's starting to go away. I'm going to try eating this stuff like Jorie just said. Eat it for a few days, no change in your eyes, no shit. This is something that you need to incorporate, into your diet on a regular basis, and it'll start that, it may not fix anything, but you're going to start a positive ripple effect going the right direction. And who knows what can happen once that ripple effect goes that way, but it's not going to happen after a few days or probably after a few weeks. It's going to be some time. So again, make sure that you recognize the power of this is the consistency.
What I thought was interesting about this topic, you guys, is that I think that most of us take our eyesight for granted. I wear contacts. Nicole wears glasses. Johnny's wearing glasses. Jorie, do you wear contacts or glasses or?
Both. Yeah.
Oh, so there you go. So we are all wearing some kind of corrective eyewear. Yet I think us as humans, for the most part, take our eyesight for granted. So what I thought about was great about this topic is that not only can you kill these great foods for your overall health, and we talk about protein all the time, and we talk about all the benefits of these great foods, but ultimately, in a subconscious way, they're also benefiting our eye health as well. Because we don't talk about it enough, do we, Jorie? We just don't talk about it at all.
Absolutely. And with the aging process,
that was the other point. Yes.
Our eyes get drier.
Yes.
So, and it's a lot of it's related to hormones. So over excess or under amounts of estrogen in our body can change our the amount of dryness that we have overall. So, and that impacts the eyes. So making sure you're well hydrated, eating foods that allow for antioxidants and more hydration in the body is also going to help. But I know that you said you were particularly looking at the blue light. So yeah, these nutrients will have an impact in decreasing the negative impacts of blue light. But overall, sometimes too, we're like, oh, I can't see, things are blurry. And that just relates to moisture. And so making sure that we're getting blood tests done, managing hormones, nutrition, keeping that, sleep, hydration, all of those play a role in terms of our eye health too.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point, Jorie, because, first thing I do when I wake up is I drink down water, try to get down a liter fairly quickly. And if there was a day, maybe I'm traveling and who knows, things just didn't kind of unfold the way I wanted them to. It takes of course, when we wake up, it's, dry eyes, you got the shit in there and everything's kind of blurry, as you're trying to wake up. For me, there's a noticeable difference when I hydrate myself. My eyes have a really, really profound effect. They are not working well because they're dehydrated. So if you're looking for some sort of a quick fix, drinking water right out of bed is going to give you the feeling like, okay, what I'm doing here is working. And then just keep following some of the stuff that we're talking about here. And you got it coming from all sides.
Yeah. So remember, guys, your eye health is crucial for overall wellness, right? Don't wait until your vision starts to suffer, because as you get older, it's going to suffer. Just ask Keith and Johnny and our friend Jorie, because she's trailing us in the age department there. Nicole's still a little puppy. So, but I'm telling you, man, and Marty has no idea what's coming yet. But guys, get your fluids and get your nutrients, and it's going to help your eyes, because you can't outrace bad eyesight. Hopefully these nutrients, these great foods will help you along the way. And that's why I thought today's conversation was great, because I just think eyesight, for the most part, we just think we can see. So we take it for granted. Oh yeah, I can see. No, but it's getting worse over time, right? So I thought that was a good thing to get into here today. All right, one last thing, Jorie, you got a couple minutes to talk about last thing? Yeah, awesome. So we kind of leaned into this a couple of weeks ago around the protein side of things, but I dug into this even further, and this came courtesy of our good old Arnold Schwarzenegger email that I get regularly. But Nicole, looking at you, have you ever wondered if your pre-workout supplement is really helping or hurting you? Did some research, and a recent study tested 57 popular sports supplements promising enhanced strength, endurance, and fat loss. This blew me away, and Card and I are having some laughs about this last night. Jorie, I shared this with you this morning. I would kind of get interested to hear your feedback. Only 11% of the products that were tested were accurately listed their ingredients. Like 11%.
That's not good.
No, a staggering 40% contained different botanical ingredients than labeled. And then even more disturbing, 12% of pre-workout supplements, any kind of supplements that we're taking, 12% had banned or unapproved substances inside of them. So we talked about it a couple weeks ago, research your brands meticulously. But Jorie, any comments on this? Was this surprising to you? Or again, I know we talked about it last week, but when you saw 11%, were you like, holy smokes, it's actually that bad?
No, there was a study number of years ago which had that and higher amounts, which is why when I work with our Olympic and Paralympic athletes and our pro athletes that can be tested for banned substances, I can only recommend third-party tested, so NSF certified for sport. Sport. So I can only recommend those. Even though something off the shelf is probably a great brand, the risk is low. I just won't recommend it. I could take it, But the athletes that I work with can't. They just can't because it's their career on the line. In terms of a lot of the supplements, though, it's more placebo, because if you think of something, if you look at a pre-workout, it's got a bunch of things in there, and all these things do great things, and they can. Some of them not so much, but especially if you're a responder or non-responder.
Yes.
But some of them you need to actually load, and so the amount that will be in a pre-workout isn't giving you that time frame of the loading phase to be able to have a benefit. You might get, say, beta alanine.
Makes you all tingly and makes you all,
So something like that, yes, it can have a benefit. However, you got to get the right dosing and you cycle it. But placebo effect, you get that tingly feeling, and then you think something's working. So then you have a great workout. Same thing with creatine monohydrate. And, the amount in there, we know that a low dose continuous can have a benefit, but the amount often in these supplements, it's not enough to do anything. What seems to have the greatest impact in these, though, caffeine. Now, caffeine can be performance enhancing or performance degrading. If you have anxiety and the caffeine enhances your anxiety, it's going to be performance degrading.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you have gut issues, it'll move things along.
Yeah.
So it just really depends. So these pre-workouts, if it's getting you into the gym, it's getting you into working out, and you're not on medications that might contraindicate, the supplements that are in there. The thing is, food is regulated. Supplements are not. So what's on the label may or may not be in that container. So just being mindful of that.
Johnny?
There's two things that I kind of tell people. It's, the pre-workout, blah, 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 blah. I say, okay, let's just cover two quick things here. Number one, if this thing is inhibiting your sleep, it is hurting you far more than it could ever be helping you. That's the first thing. Second thing is, you're taking it to work out. When you're done working out, feeding your body is at the top of the totem pole. So if it's fucking up your appetite, it's fucking up your sleep, you can't even quantify the damage that this thing is doing in your process. So if it affects either one of those, get it the fuck out.
Yeah. Jorie, it's hard for me not to look at like a supplement store like we have here in Canada, Popeyes. Yeah. It's hard for me not to look at a store like this today and think that 90% of the products in there are scam. And I'm not trying to throw Popeyes under the bus or my friend who owns it. I'm not trying to suggest it at all, but it just makes me question all of the products that are in there that actually aren't food. And we know that, and we talk about all the time, go to the grocery store.
Brother, hold on. Let me just interrupt real quick. It's not no more of a fucking scam than walking into McDonald's thinking you're buying a fucking hamburger.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? And I'm not busting you up. I'm just saying that this whole concept of shit not being what it's supposed to be is fucking around us everywhere now.
I know, but what I love about this idea of the health food store, the supplement store, is they should be called placebo stores, because Jorie leaned into it, because they're really giving you this idea in your head that you're going to accomplish something, but 90% of it might not be real. Jorie.
I agree to an extent. I used to work when I was a student trying to get my way through university.
Oh, yeah.
I worked in, and it's funny that we call them health food stores because there's no food in there, but the supplement stores. And part of my role was to make sales, right? And so, and I had huge ethical issues with that, because I remember this client, I was like, everything I was saying, they were like putting on the counter, they were going to buy it. And I finally had to stop and go, look, what do we really need here?
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't good in that store. But I could have sold like crazy. But there are certain times and certain types of clients that might need supplements.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So for example, with some people, iron supplementation, with most of us vitamin D, some of us omega-3s if we can't get enough through food alone. So there might be some reasons to have supplements in our lives. I think that if you're a woman that could get pregnant, you should be taking supplements that have folate, because you don't want to have neural defects in your baby. You could possibly get pregnant. So even if that's not in your plans right now, take something. So I think that's really important. There are reasons for supplementing. Absolutely. Does everyone have to supplement? Likely not. I mean, research even shows 33% of people that take creatine monohydrate are non-responders.
Interesting. The key really is, Jorie, is know what's in the product, right? Like that's really what it comes down to. And when all else fails, here's what I love. I throw back the tennis ball to John. Eat simple ingredient whole foods. Go to the grocery store and buy an egg, buy a tomato, buy a potato, buy a steak, right? And then
because in many cases, people I need my pre-workouts. I don't have any energy. Well, no shit. Look at the way you're fucking eating. So eat right. And a lot of times, like the majority of my clients, they say, I'm taking pre-workout. Can I continue? I say, look, you can, but I want you to be ready. Your body is going to say, stop fucking doing that shit. Because you're going to it's going to be too much. It feels comfortable now. Once your body starts giving you stable energy from proper food sources and timing and hydration, that fucking pre-workout is going to make you feel like you are cracked out. And that's your body saying, hey, I don't need this. Get this the fuck out of here. So in many cases, pre-workouts are kind of a crutch for people who don't have energy because they eat so poorly.
I think pre-workouts are somewhat of a placebo crutch. I think it's part of the supplement industry, which is like, okay, we can go convince people that they need this workout. We'll put some beta alanine in it. We'll make their body tingle, and they're gonna.
Well, and in many cases, like what people
I saw you nodding your head at that, because I think just go drink some coffee, get some good food, and get some good sleep, and there's your pre-workout.
Dude, people say to me, what's your pre-workout? It's fucking coffee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even I think simple, even in terms of, I think, John, clarify this if I'm not simple enough, because I think it's really important for people to understand this piece. So please jump in. So oftentimes when I'm working with athletes, so Nicole, this might be something to take away. And I ripped this off of another sports dietitian, so it was not me that made this up, but I mean, the science is there.
Yeah.
So it's the 4210R. 4 hours out. If you have 4 hours out, eat a nice balanced whole food meal before you go exercise.
Oh, yeah.
2 hours out, you're going to limit the amount of protein and fat and fiber, and you're going to get the carbohydrate that's energy, that's fuel before your workout. 1 hour out, it's simple. You're looking at fluids, maybe some electrolytes, depending on how if it's an early morning, you didn't have the 2 hours before your workout, right? So if it's 1 hour out, some fluids, maybe some carbohydrate, electrolyte. 0 is what are you doing in that workout? If it's an hour or less, water's fine. If it's 90 minutes or more, maybe you're going to include some electrolytes, some carbohydrate source, depending what you want the outcome to be.
Yeah.
And then R is recovery. It's after your workout, what are you doing to build, repair, and restore? So it's 4210R.
Yeah, I love that, Jorie. It's a kind of a nice framework. One of the things that I'm always working with my clients is we have to figure out what is that window of time that we need to eat and then be productive.
Yeah. Because
if the window's too big, you get hungry in your training. The window's too small, you feel like you're not ready. And so, yeah, I mean, of course, your framework definitely is a little bit more complex. I just simplify kind of what you're saying because I keep all the foods that they're eating highly digestible. So then the question is, how much time does the body need to digest? Like myself, if I eat more than I'll eat a meal inside of an hour before because my shit digests so quickly. If I was to do it at 2 hours, I'd be hungry in the middle.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's where you have to look at how do you digest, right?
Yes, 100%. And then it's so individualized.
Yeah.
Yes,
so if I'm working
100%.
with someone that's going into, they're going to do their road race or their speed skating, they're hunched over, right? So they've got, so that's why you got to look 2 to 4 hours out. And so if it's an early morning swim, then I'm looking at the night before supper and night snack because the morning might be just some orange juice and water and a pinch of salt and off they go. And then they're going to have their recovery breakfast after, right? So it's just looking at the individual, looking at what type and the intensity and the environment that they're working out in. And that's how you can support. And that's if that's the foundation before any supplement has any right to come into your plan. So,
dude, you got to drop in gold here. Nicole, are you taking so Nicole's an endurance athlete. Are you taking some nuggets here, Nicole, from Johnny? And I see you taking.
I just wrote them down.
Does that mentality work for you and what they're saying? How here's my question. How do you feel your energy, Nicole, when you get off to your big runs?
Yeah, I've never taken a pre-workout before. Like y'all said, food and coffee. That's what I do, and a good bit of water. It's interesting. Before like a big race, I'll try to get up early and get a bunch of food in me just because I know. But then in the challenges, that's actually a challenge because I don't want to eat too much in between the different few hours. So that was especially the first go round, trying to navigate that and trying to get some rest. So yeah, smaller, more compact meals have always worked for me.
Interesting. Hey, Jorie and Johnny, quick question for you guys.
I gotta go.
Nicole, you got to rock and roll. Thanks for hanging out.
I got to go wake kids up for school. So sorry.
You go wake the kids up. Thanks for hanging out with us. I got to get Jorie out of here as well, but a quick question for Jorie and John before they say goodbye. Nicole, thanks for hanging out with us. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you,
awesome.
Nicole.
Bye, guys.
Awesome. Bye, Nicole. Hey, Jorie, John, quickly before we say goodbye here, would you choose rest over more food? If I had to choose, I'm thinking what Nicole said. I'm in a challenge. I got to work out, and then I got a challenge. I got to rest before, and I got to do it again. Are you saying to somebody eat for your next workout, or are you saying to somebody rest before your next workout? Or am I not? Maybe the question.
It's a great question, but there's so many variables that we'd have to know to answer that question.
Yeah, I guess that's
but generally speaking, I just want to say, generally speaking, that people tend to when the body's trying to heal, right? It's sending out all sorts of signals, right?
Yes.
And in many cases, if you've got some sort of a plan of eating that you're on and it's working for you, you might be getting a hunger signal, but really what you need is fucking more rest.
It's a rest.
You know, that's me 100%. When I get overtrained, my fucking brain is telling me eat nonstop, but I don't need more food. I need time off my feet.
Yes. Jorie?
Yeah, I think we have to look at what the goal is and how you've been fueling and hydrating and resting overall. So looking at the picture, which I think is what you were saying, John. And so I will have some clients that they're up so early and they're doing 2 workouts a day. So when they get home from one workout, they'll get home and they have to choose between eating and napping and then getting up again and moving forward. So we always make sure that they have their recovery fuel source that they're having on the way home. So when they get home, they can get that rest in. And then once they're up, and they keep on going with their day. So it depends on who you are, what you're doing, and what the outcome needs to be at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great discussion, you guys. I did not expect it to go as long as it did, Jorie. Thank you for sticking around with us. Lauren drops in with pre-workouts make me literally vomit. Natural adrenaline and maybe a good cup of old Joe for the win. It was a great shot. And Jorie, before I say goodbye to you, are you a napper? Do you nap throughout the day? I'm gonna be serious. Do you try to grab 10, 15, 20 minutes every now and then, Jorie?
Every now and then I do. I'm not a huge napper. My husband is. He has to. It's what keeps him. But
that is me. I totally understand.
Right? He is like I take longer to process and get things going.
Yes.
It's quick. And people like that use a lot of energy.
Yes.
Like mental fatiguing energy that they have to go. And his naps are solid naps. When I nap, it might be 5-10 minutes. If I'm napping more than that, that means I've just overextended myself.
I don't like how we as society have poo-pooed naps. And we make other humans feel bad because they're taking a nap in the middle of the day. Oh, John's having a nap. You know, I'm just trying to change the mindset around that.
Because I think there's a difference between naps throughout the day and sleeps. Like if you're sleeping 2-3 hours, not necessarily anything's wrong, but I would suggest go get checked out. See what might be going on in your health, what's underlying that. Once in a while doing that, but if you routinely need 3 hours of napping, that's going into sleep, right?
Yes.
So
there's kind of ways to gauge it too, you know, like in terms of like if my naps will never, I shouldn't say never, but one of the things I watch for, my naps are always going to be kind of timed with it. I nap enough to where it's giving me a boost for the day, but it's never going to inhibit my ability to fall asleep that night.
Yeah.
If my napping is keeping me from falling asleep, then I'm doing it wrong.
Well, here's something quickly for you guys. Short naps of 10 to 20 minutes have been scientifically proven to enhance cognitive performance, improve mood, and even lower blood pressure significantly. Conversely, Jorie talked about this. Naps longer than 30 minutes have been linked with increased cardiovascular risks, including an 82% increased risk of heart disease and a higher likelihood of developing conditions such as atrial fibrillation. Extending napping has also been associated with a 27% higher risk of all-cause mortality. So to maximize the benefits, stick to power naps, 10 to 20 minutes, set the alarm and get up. But the benefits, guys, of the 10 to 20 minute nap, it is there. And upon waking, immediately expose yourself to bright light, engage in light physical activity to shake off any grogginess. But guys, there's power every single day in grabbing a 10 or 20 minute nap throughout your day. But you get longer than that, as Jorie said, you might want to go talk to somebody about that. So guys, embrace the 10 to 20 minute nap.
Yeah. And I like how you said there's power in that. And so call it a power nap. It is what it is.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and it can be even from mental stuff too. I've got a nephew who's like, he's basically like a good hacker, if you will, right? He works for Intel, and his job is to basically shut down the hackers that are trying to do bad shit. And so there's always these, like, he says there's these like really pressure cooker. He works 2 4-hour shifts. And in between that shift, he's got 90 minutes. And some of his superiors actually explained to him, look, I've been doing this a long time. You're going to be better off coming back for your second shift if you take a nap. So it's not really like, it's not a mandatory thing, but it's the people who are leading him that have been doing it for decades that's saying, look, this is going to be your key to have a really productive second session.
Yeah.
And so it's basically, it's like, you know, learn, recover on these short little bits. You know, when you learn, if you try to learn too long, you get that fatigue now that you don't really have the same learning.
Yes. Yeah. All right, guys, listen, Jorie, I got to get you out of here, kid. I've taken a lot of your time today. I appreciate you. Appreciate the conversation. Appreciate you hanging out with me and Johnny here this morning. You got a busy day ahead of you today?
You know what? It's not too bad today, which is why I could stay on today. So no, it's a full day, but it's good. Not crazy. I probably won't need to take a nap.
There you go. One of the mood here in Manitoba today, a little bit of rain, a little bit of overcast. It's cleaning up the environment. It's going to be a nice day here in Manitoba today. So, Jorie,
I'll probably take Fred out for a walk.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you. Enjoy your walk with Fred, and we'll catch up with you later this week, okay?
All right. Thanks so much, you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jorie.
All right, Johnny, great show, man. Holy smokes, it's almost over. I know you got to rock and roll here as well. Great show with Nicole, great show with Jorie. Some good stuff, man. And I love the pre-workout stuff. And I was really eager to talk about it with you because I know your point of view on it. And it's just so placebo-ish, right? Get some water, get some coffee, get up, get moving, and let the magic happen. Get the good food inside of you.
And it's, I mean, generally speaking, they're almost all going to have some sort of a stimulant, meaning like caffeine.
Yes.
And so when people feel that stimulant, that's what they're looking for in most cases.
Yes.
And realistically, you know, Jesus Christ, even if you went to Starbucks every day and bought the most expensive coffee, it probably would be still cheaper than buying that can of pre-workout.
Yeah.
And just so everybody understands, you know, I've been in the fitness industry a long time, and the markup on a pre-workout is so fucking gross. Well, it's wonderful for the company, but if you knew how much it cost them to make that, whatever, $50, you'd be like, I'm not fucking buying this.
You know, I
mean, pre-workout is the biggest profit fucking ticket item in the industry.
We think about it, Johnny. Groceries are on average margin of 1 to 3% on groceries in a grocery store. So I'm thinking that you go to
dude, we're talking like 700-800%.
That's what I was going to say.
Sometimes greater.
That's what I was going to say is that, you know, going to the grocery store to buy some coffee, the owner of the grocery store is making 1 to 2% on you. You're going to the health food supplement store. That dude's making 700, 800, 900% on you. But
remember, unbelievable. And even like whey protein, like when whey protein hit the market, they basically what they did is they kind of convinced everybody that it was this really, really crazy good thing to help them. And it's the fucking, in the protein world, again, that is the highest markup product as well. So all they're doing is convincing you that this fucking really cheap product has this major punching power, but the only fucking punching power you're giving them is filling up their fucking pockets.
Well, you know what's funny about it too, Johnny, before we say goodbye, is that, and it's all chained together, eh? Oh, so Keith, you need the pre-workout powder before you work out. Okay, great. And then you need to drink this while you're working out. Okay, great. And then after your workout, you need to drink this. Okay, great. And then for your protein, you need to drink this. So I've just convinced you to buy 5 things from me because you got to chain them. You got to stack them all together. And that's the scam of the industry. It's the snake oil scam of the industry. I hate to say it.
Well, they took a really good fucking lesson from the pharmaceutical companies, because we'll give you this product to fix that problem, but then this product creates another problem, so you got to buy this product, and it's this fucking chain reaction.
Yeah. Hey, just a quick opinion question for you. Do you think there's a reckoning in that industry anytime soon, Johnny? Either FDA or somebody like, or it's a highly unregulated industry. Do you think there's a reckoning at any point, or is it just kind of going to be or is it always going to be a Wild West type experience?
That's a fucking great question, dude.
Yeah.
Because realistically, what it comes down to, you and I could make a product.
I know.
And we could put whatever the fuck we want in there, and we could, we could mislabel it, right?
Yes, I know.
Until somebody comes until we get sued, or somebody, we just can kind of exist out there. There's no regulation on releasing it. It's basically, what it comes down to, are you fucking people up? Okay, you're going to get sued.
I sat down with somebody a few years ago with AJ. AJ was looking to get into the supplement business. So I went down the path of him and explored it with him. It blew me away how easy it was, A, to make it, and B, that nobody was regulating it, and C, I could put whatever I want into it. D, I could charge whatever I wanted to it. I could just, and it was.
Well, dude, it goes even further. So you could, if you really want to cover yourself, let's just say that you and I decided we're going to go, throw our fucking morals in the trash can and say, okay, we're going to make some fucking product, right? Yeah. We could basically, take, first off, what we would do is we would call it research material, because it's research material, not for human consumption. You're just saying there's no recourse, right? Then you and I could literally take a fucking drop of each one of our piss, put it in a little fucking bottle and call it, Keith and John's yellow number 5 lightning fucking pre-workout. And of course, nobody's going to die from a drop of our piss. But if somebody did, we're not in trouble.
Because we're saying it's a research, not for human consumption.
Research material. Yeah. And keep in mind, the research material is really the title, not for human consumption. I don't even know if that's got to be fucking listed when you say it. Probably does. But once it's under research material, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Wait, because then you've limited your liability. It's over on you.
You've said there is no liability. This is research material. It's unbelievable.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
I won't go too deep into the whole thing, but there have been some medications that have fucking taken the world by storm that have been listed this way.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Another conversation for another day, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, if you really dig into that, you find it. I'll let you dig and find it. But I mean, in the last 5 years, you're going to find some fucking really, really, really popular, and popular is not even the right descriptive word, highly used products that were basically listed as research material.
Interesting, man. Wow, that's fascinating stuff. All right, pal, well, listen, I got to get you out of here. It's time for you to go. Me and Jimmy are going to close up with the community corner. What's up, Enzo? Good to see you there in the future. What do you got going on the agenda today, pal? You got anything going? To me, I got a light day today. I'm just working today. Carter's going to be out later today for a lift. I'm going to do some yoga with him later today. What do you got going on today, brother?
We were supposed to leave today to go to our house in Mexico, but I don't think we're going to make it out today because yesterday I had to go pick up one of our vehicles getting serviced. And
you were saying.
Just by the time it's not like we have to do anything on a certain day, so there's no reason to fucking rush. So we'll just make today another productive day, getting prepared, and then wake up tomorrow and go.
Brilliant. Well, brother, you enjoy your day today. You get after it today, and we look forward to reconnecting and resuming our always daily wonderful discussion in Mornings and Alive with Keith and John here. We're back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The loop resumes less than 24 hours from now.
Have a good loop, my brother.
You too, pal. All right, Johnny's going to get out of here, and Keith and Jimmy are going to keep it going here. Bottom of hour 2. Yep, community corner. It's funny. We started the show here today. I said, Jimmy, I don't know if I have lots to talk about today. And I know Jimmy's rolling his eyes like, fuck you, I've always lots to talk about. Like, well, I don't know if we're going to have a full show here today. I thought maybe we'll be done by 9 o'clock, 9:15. And I know he's rolling his eyes going, no, that's not going to happen. You're going to be here till 9:30 like you always are. Like, no, we'll be done by 9:15. Yeah. Get into pre-workout. Jorie, Keith, and John just going after it. Woo, baby. Lots of nuggets in that segment. Jimmy, we got to cut that one up. We got to cut that one up and educate Mornings Nation about, hey, Jimmy, we sent out our email this morning on our Substacker. Woo, baby. We had a 22% open rate. Woo, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah. I see your message. So those of you joining us on the Substack side of things, I appreciate all of you guys. That's awesome, man. Wow. I'm going to do it regularly here. Okay, so we are going to resume the segment of the show. Hope you guys enjoyed Nicole joining us here today. Love Nicole Bernard, man. What a great human being. So grateful for her to join us here today in the show. Okay, Jimmy, I'm pulling up our LinkedIner. Yeah, there it is right there. Oh, the Dukes of Hazards, Bo and Luke. Bo and Luke Duke. All right, guys, you ever feel like getting fit means sacrificing your career, your social life, or your sanity? Well, why should you be any different? You're not lazy. You're overloaded. And most of the fitness advice out there, well, listen, if you listen to the show, you get it. Built for influencers, not regular people like you and me. What you need isn't more hustle. No, it's a smarter system. One that fits your real life. And there's a creator out there on the LinkedIn platform building exactly that for you. His name, Jimmy. What's his name? Not going to reveal it just yet. Nope, not going to reveal it. Nope, going to tease it a little bit. This guy's the force behind Yoda, Luke Skywalker. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. I'm talking Star Wars. Sorry. I was thinking we were talking Star Wars for a second there. I'm confused, actually. This guy's the force behind the Jedi. No, not the Jedi Knights. Sorry, Jimmy. I'm just distracted by Star Wars right now. This guy's the force behind the Fit Men Project, helping busy entrepreneurs drop the weight, build the muscle, and finally feel at home in their bodies without turning fitness into a full-time job. Who am I talking about, Jimmy? This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is excited to introduce you to Luke Depron. Yeah, Luke, the Fit Men Project, transforming your physique, health, and performance with the lean body method. Listen, his lean body method makes health sustainable, strategic, and damn near automatic. And here in the lab, we back anyone who builds systems that last. Listen, Luke's helping men install a health mindset that scales. No, I didn't say stepping on the scale. Helping men install health mindsets that scale. What a body that works. Listen, you want a body that works as hard as you do? You got to follow Luke. Go find him on LinkedIn. You want to watch how simple it can be when the plan finally fits the man? Go find Luke. Luke Depron on LinkedIn. Go engage with Luke. Go tell him Uncle Keith sent you, and go and check out what he's doing there with the Fit Men Project. And Luke, here's how it works. Would love to have you on the show. I'm suspecting there's somebody in your world, in your orbit, in your community who's doing some great things. We'd like to meet them. We'd like to have you on the show, give you the light to pass off, to celebrate somebody in your community as part of the Community Corner Creator Spotlight. So Luke Depron, we're celebrating you here today. We'd love to have you in the lab, talk about the lean body method and help celebrate folks in your orbit. That's our Community Corner segment there on the LinkedIn side of things. Okay. All right, next one up on the table here. We're moving our attention to Substack. Guys, inside.bappel.ai, the only place to learn how to build your YouTube channel, build your Substack, get your LinkedIn going, tie it all together, build a business. Take that knowledge in your head and have a conversation daily. Listen, if you start the conversation, you set the conversation. If you're a leader, you're a community leader, you're a business leader, you're a creator, you're an influencer, why aren't you starting the conversation? Why are you letting others start the conversation? Why are you letting others lead the conversation? Are you a shepherd or are you a sheep? I know what you are. You're the shepherd. Maybe you're disguised as a sheep because you're just following everybody. Stop. Oh, maybe you don't know how to get started. Maybe you're like, oh, but I want to get started, Keith. I want to have a conversation, but I don't know how. Old Uncle Keith and Jimmy can help you. Yeah, that's what we do every single day. We got this whole Conversation OS platform that we can offer you to help you start a conversation. Maybe you're in politics. Maybe you run a business. Maybe you have a community. Maybe you have folks that you lead. Maybe you have stakeholders. Maybe you have sales folks. Listen, the world starts with the conversation. Imagine waking up in the morning and starting the conversation for your community. Imagine waking up in the morning and creating content, conversational content for your community, so that your community looks to you for trust, looks to you for continuity, looks to you for consistency, looks to you for curiosity. What other fucking C word can I find, Jimmy, for this one? But listen, that's the point. Those that start the conversation, set the conversation. And we can help you do that here, Mornings in the Lab, and our Inside Bapple newsletter. What are we teaching you there? All the things we're learning behind the scenes as we create this show. How to build YouTube, how to build Substack, how to build an audience, when to send this, when to do that, how to create this, how to make a thumbnail, what works here, what works. Guys, I'll just say right now, if you're starting a YouTube channel, the most important things for your YouTube channel are two things, not the content. Like, what? No, it's not the content. You can have the greatest fucking videos you want, but if your title sucks and your thumbnail sucks and nobody sees it, your content sucks. But you don't know that until you start doing it. And I know many of you who want to start a YouTube channel are thinking about someday. Yeah, that magical day on the calendar, the day that never exists. Subscribe to the newsletter, inside.bapple.ai. We got a deal. It's like $8 a month, I think. Melissa convinced me to do $8 a month. I'm like, nah, it's going to be $800 a month. She's like, Bilous, come on, man. All right. I'm going to listen to my boss. So Melissa got $8. All right, we're going to go $8. Fucking pretty much free. All the knowledge that's up in my skull, we're giving to you guys. Yep. Jimmy, let's get to this one. All right. You ever look up from your phone? You, mister. You ever look up from your phone and wonder, where the hell did the last hour go? I've just been doom scrolling away, just scrolling. You sat down to work, but now you're deep in someone else's behind the scenes. You thought you sat down, you were supposed to be building something. Instead, you're buried in content, somebody else's content, because you're a consumer. You're not producing. You're not progressing. You're just scrolling. You're just consuming someone else's ego. We've all been there. And some creators, they stay stuck there forever. They think they're a creator, but they're actually a consumer. They wonder why the hell things aren't moving. But there's a few people out there that decide to change the game. And one of them did more than change it. The guy we're talking about today made it his mission. His name that we're going to introduce you to on Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, his name is Josh Wall. What's up, Josh? Josh is the voice behind The Sober Creative, a Substack built for creators who want clarity, not chaos. This guy writes about discipline, distraction, and the real work behind the work, kind of like the stuff we talk about here in the lab. And this guy does it without the fluff, without the filters, without pretending it is easy. Josh, he's not selling you a hustle. No, he's teaching you focus. He's helping creators reclaim the mental real estate that distraction quietly steals. Here in the lab, we celebrate the ones who choose intention over addiction, discipline over dopamine, and truth over trend. And Josh, this guy, he isn't just managing distractions. No, he's rewriting. What am I, in Bugs Bunny? He's rewriting his entire creative foundation and inviting others to do the same. So I invite you to check out The Sober Creative on Substack. It's not just a newsletter. It's a challenge to reclaim your time, own your process, and live with clarity. So I invite you, go follow Josh Wall. And if you're done letting distractions run your life, go follow Josh and subscribe to his newsletter over there on Substack. I check out his content. I enjoy his content, and I know you will as well. So Josh, here's how this works, brother. We'd love to have you on the show. We know there's somebody in your orbit, somebody in your world that you're doing some great work with. We know there's somebody that you admire. Well, I'd like to offer you the light, the Mornings in the Lab Creator Spotlight, so you can shine the light on somebody in your orbit and surprise them and bring the love with Josh Wall. So Jimmy, there you go. Josh, celebrating you here today, brother. We're celebrating you here for sure. All right, we got Nicole's comments coming up here. Yes, thank you for having me today, Keith. Always such a fun time in the lab. If anyone wants to donate for the run, goes directly to soccer. Here's the link. So Nicole, thanks for putting it up there. Jimmy, we'll get that link up on our comment here today as well. And Nicole, bad Uncle Keith host here, didn't even get that from you here today. We had to rush out of the lab here. So I just lost control of the conversation because it was so much fun. And you're like, I got to go. I'm like, oh shit, we didn't get that out of here. So I appreciate that. Go to givebutter.com/VE VEFUXT. VEFUXT is along the way there. So Nicole Bernard, love Nicole. Haven't heard in the lab. Nicole, come back and hang out with us often, please. You're welcome back here anytime. There is always a chair for you here in the lab. You just say the word, yep, you come on and hang out with us. So guys, I invite you to go check out Nicole Bernard and support her entity there. Give Butter. All right, Jimmy, it's time to say goodbye here. Hey, Jimmy, we're going to do the show till 9 o'clock today. It's only going to go about an hour today. I figured maybe 115 minutes, but no, maybe 75 minutes today, Jimmy. That's just what we'll do here today. You're like, no, Bilous. It's going to go much longer than that. You're right. Yeah, today it was. Okay, so we're wrapping up episode 2022, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Today we dug into a number of great things. Oh man, we kicked the show off at the top of the show. We talked about, get my notes here. We talked about your brain might be eating yourself during marathons. Yeah, it's actually science, eating the myelin. I invite you to go check out that segment. Got into the accountability check-in about thinking you deserve better. You got to work hard at it, man. No such thing as entitlement. I shared my story about how I had to overcome rejection and the fear of rejection, and how I took the fear of rejection and turned it into a positive. I invite you guys to go check out that segment. We had Jorie hanging out for a long time today. We talked about screen fatigue and the foods you might want to be eating to keep your eyes fresh. True story. More than just carrots. I invite you to check out that segment. And then we got into the ugly truth about pre-workouts. Oh, baby, what a segment that one was. Placebo, pre-workout, truth. I invite you to check out that segment because what you're drinking before you go to the gym might not be what you think it is. You might just want to have a cup of coffee. Yeah, it might be better for you. And then, of course, we talked about boosting brain power, mastering the art of the power nap. Guys, take a nap today. Don't be afraid of 10, 20 minutes. Go grab it. Don't get to 30 or 40. You're overdoing it. Take 10, 20 minutes. Take care of yourself. I would invite you to consider you take those 10, 20 minutes. There's science behind it. It's going to rejuvenate you. It's going to empower you. It's going to help you move through the rest of the day. It's going to help you create that momentum to give you movement for the rest of your day. So guys, boost your brain power. Master the art of the power nap. And then, of course, we wrapped it up with the community corner. We celebrated a couple folks here today. And now it's time to get the hell out of here. And let me see what we got tomorrow, guys. We got episode 2023 tomorrow on the show. Old Uncle Keith's eyes didn't have the fresh fruit last night. So let's see here. Tomorrow, oh yeah, Jimmy, I changed the title on tomorrow's show just to surprise you. I stopped saying yes. When I stopped saying yes, it made me happier. It did. Oh, fuck, did it ever. Oh man, it's powerful to say no. You guys say yes too often? Tune into tomorrow's show. We're going to teach you how to say no so that you can say yes to the right things. But until then, I'm going to switch gears from this to this. Yeah, there it is. There's the sound effect. All right. Well, listen. Boom, boom. on behalf of everybody tuning in this morning, 3R, Clody, who else tuned in this morning? We had Lauren. We had Good Time. Oh, Good Time. I didn't see you there, brother. Adam Holroyd. I didn't see. Dudes, I forgot you guys on the horizontal feed here. I was staring at my vertical feed here. Yeah, we got Good Time. We got Clody. We got Holroyd. Take some naps today, guys. Yeah, we got Clody. I'm still here, man. It's a true story, man. I figured that we wouldn't be here this long. We're still here. Yeah, it's good. All good stuff, guys. Listen, go support Nicole. Go support Nicole at givebutter.com. That would be awesome. And Holroyd, I always appreciate you joining. I'm still looking to chat with you, man. So love to have a conversation with you because you're always hanging out with us. And Clody, I appreciate you guys as well. Listen, would love the feedback from you guys on the show, what you guys are loving, what you guys are hating, so we can keep improving the show. I can tell you guys the numbers are going up daily, and it's all because of you guys. So we're getting after it. We're serving it up, and you guys are eating it, and I appreciate you all. So listen, on behalf of me and the rest of the gang, Marty, Johnny, Nicole, everybody else, we're going to get out of here. On behalf of Jimmy, Melissa, have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, less than 24 hours. Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. I'm getting the hell out of here. See you guys tomorrow.